Well, Kirsikka, I know that there's a lot of work around political communication and civic participation presented in human-computer interaction and in this conference as well. Why is this study relevant?
Our paper starts from a notion that we have noticed that despite HCI scholars widely acknowledge that political values are embedded in design, this is something that is not taken into account when designing for mitigation, polarization, or supporting political participation. In our paper, we interviewed 12 Finnish political party elites across 8 different parties, and we asked them to evaluate speculative probes which presented different social media user interfaces. We noticed that our interviewed political elites evaluated the probes based on their party's ideology, voters' position, and the historical context of the parties.
Well, why to focus on party politics on this topic? Why is it a relevant perspective?
Well, first, there isn't so many studies on party politics in HCI. The other thing is that we saw that focusing on political elites and party politics could be a fruitful way to bring the political values of design into the forefront. We observed that interviews from different parties evaluated interfaces based on their understanding of the individual freedom in society. For example, we presented a social speculative probe which introduced the concept of time lag for each social media post. We observed that many participants from the political left were slightly positive towards the idea of short time lag. However, other participants saw the idea custodial and limiting.
You speak about studying elites and focusing on them. What does political elites bring into the whole research?
We noticed that elite research could help to rethink and re-evaluate some concepts that have been used to study ordinary citizens. For example, our interviews talk a lot about impression management and profile work, concepts that are widely used in HCI. However, for them, profile work wasn't about individual actions. In contemporary algorithm-driven social media, the political elites saw that profile work consists of posters action, viewers action, and algorithmic analysis of the system. That is an example how we could rethink some concepts with studying political elites.
But then some people who have background in user-centric design say that, okay, we should really sort of now focus on this new user group, political elites. How would that sound like?
Well, we are cautious about involving politicians in design as such. There has been a lot of discussions of how platform companies have power over individuals and how they could harm democracy. Our research speaks about how also political groups or maybe some other groups might strive to gain more power through social media interface design. Our interviewed political elites preferred interfaces that supported forms of participation beneficial for their supporters. For example, interviewees from parties with highly educated voters preferred evidence-based and information-driven research. However, that might limit the participation of less educated citizens who are not used to this kind of argumentation. In an extreme situation, abilities of limiting social media operations could help parties to gain more power through excluding less supportive voices from social media. While our research doesn't speak that this is the case now, at least in Finland, we still call for careful consideration of how digital spaces should be regulated.